Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for October 23rd, 2021. With your host, Peacemaker2448, and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hello.
I have had a very long couple of weeks of a lot of moving, and still need to do a lot of moving and rearrange. My room is still a work in progress. Yeah, we have a not big set of news. It's primarily actually Nintendo stuff for like 3/5 of it.
Which is not surprising.
No, usually most of our news ends up being Nintendo just because they're the most consistent about their news. Like, we will have a state of play to talk about in a couple weeks because there's one announced for next week, I believe, is what I saw. Yeah, I think it might be like the 29th or something. I will probably be too busy because Super Robot Wars comes out next week. It comes out the 28th, and I hope it unlocks like midnight to 27th. Or like at midnight, because I'll probably be up and I will probably be playing it. And I've thought about this. I've thought about, since I'm not streaming it, but I would like to, I don't know, do a thing for it. I thought about doing one of those, I'm playing the game, but here's the occasional tweet about me playing the game kind of threads.
I could say
I don't know. I don't do a whole lot with the Twitter on my own accord. So I thought about doing that. I would have just needed an easy way to get screenshots, and I was experimenting with that. But that comes out the 28th, and I'm excited. And thankfully, I got a game in today to buy time because I was in Kaiju Carl's stream a couple days ago when he was talking Gundam and stuff. And I finally broke down and decided to pick up Gundam Breakers 3, which is essentially a Gundam Musou kind of game. It doesn't have a lot of the Musou trappings, it's just the Musou combat style. But the big draw of it is we're going to give you all the parts of all these different Gundams from across the history of Gundam, and you can just make your own Gundam. Just by slamming parts together and painting them. Which, since this is Gundam Breakers 3, it's got the most content that you can build from, which is really cool. And it's also apparently the best one. And it's also not the most recent one, because New Gundam Breakers was apparently not good. And I'm like, fine. Because also, Gundam Breakers 3 has an English subtitled release. I actually got mine off Amazon for like $50, so like $10 off retail. And it was the break edition of the game, which includes all the DLC. So it's a nice bargain purchase, I guess. So I put a little bit of time into it while I was listening to a couple people talk the Hasbro HasCon panel stuff that was today, because they did a Fortnite panel, because Hasbro is doing Fortnite figures now.
Of course they are.
They looked fine. Nothing I was interested in. They did a Nerf panel where they showed off a new Needler for their Nerf line from the Halo. I think this is specifically the Halo Infinite Needler. I still laugh every time I see products advertising Halo Infinite, because that game still isn't out yet, and it should have been out last year until pandemic happened and delays happened. I just find it quite hilarious. there was also a Marvel and a G.I. Joe panel, but I was listening to people talk while I was playing the game because I was like, I'm playing game because it also was supposed to come in yesterday, but it didn't. Because, of course, Amazon doesn't get my stuff on time when it comes to video games. It's just how it is. But I played that, and we've both beaten Dread now.
Yep.
How do you like the Dread?
I mean, obviously pretty good, seeing as how I'm going through 100% in it. Even though I can clearly get the rewards off of, like, any website.
Yeah. I might.
I kind of... Is it bad that I kind of hate that a lot of places are doing that, too? It's like, here's the rewards when you do XYZ in the game. It's like, that... You realize that's kind of taken away from it then.
Yeah, but like Kotaku being like, hey, Metroid Dread runs great on Switch emulators, which I didn't realize we had Switch emulators already.
Yeah. And I think the first thing that actually got to working pretty decent on it was Breath of the Wild.
That doesn't surprise me. That honestly doesn't, because we know it's a Wii U port, so... Granted, I don't know how Wii U emulators are.
I don't know if it's gotten any farther, but the last that I noticed, 3D World was kind of the last decent thing that was good with it.
Mm-hmm.
And by last, I mean the only thing. Everything else had its hiccups.
Yeah, and now that that's on Switch, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. With online play, even.
Yeah. I can say that while I am not well versed in the 2D Metroids, I really did enjoy it. Although I do have to agree with one complaint I've seen.
Okay.
The Emmys aren't that good.
They're good for what they are, in my opinion. Outside of that, yeah.
Honestly, I think
it feels like missed opportunity kind of deal.
They feel a little more annoying at times because, and I think this is the case without any real substantial evidence outside of circumstance, I think they're scripted to stay in the room you're in after a certain point. Honestly, I think they were incredibly scripted.
They're not, from what I could tell, like uber scripted kind of deal.
Right.
It feels like, though, because I was noticing and exploiting this a crap ton too. Mm-hmm. If I'd get caught by one and I could escape, you literally could walk back in the room and the Emmy would be just about where it started to begin with.
Yeah, what I found
it's like they're in their own instance that has a set starting point at least.
Yeah, I think it's a case of there are certain rooms when you're going in, they won't go in. But then there's certain rooms when you go in, they're guaranteed to be nearby. That way, as soon as you walk in the room, they hear you.
And I mean, I feel like for the way they're designed, that's probably about the only options they had.
Yeah.
Because do you really want an enemy chasing you all the way to the control room?
Probably not.
Especially when there's a few of those that literally it's just a straight hallway to it.
Mm-hmm. Granted, honestly, I didn't have any problems with them except for the speedy one. The speedy one is incredibly obnoxious on the last part of it.
I more had issues with the fact that I'd tried to go too quick sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wants you to use the Phantom Cloak, which is slow.
Right.
But then going back through the second time kind of deal, I feel like I've noticed that now that I kind of understand how they work, yeah, you don't need the Phantom Cloak. You need it until you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you don't need it. About the only time you really need it is if you're stuck in a point where you know you can't run and you have to wait them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my problem is that the speedy one, there's one segment where you get into this kind of small room where you're pre-gravity suit, so you're having to climb up these couple platforms in the water in order to get up somewhere to get across the way.
Yep.
If you lose him in that room, he will literally circle that main platform. He will not leave. He won't leave. He'll just circle that platform.
I actually didn't have that happen.
I've had that happen on both of my files.
Huh.
That one just wanted me dead, and by God, it was going to have it happen, regardless of what I tried.
Also, I've got to point out, for as hard as they made the counters, that's really the only challenging part with it.
Yeah.
And the only reason is because it is pure RNG.
Yeah, the timing on them is random on both hits, so...
Yeah, because I've had it do a humongous delay on the first one and then instant boom on the second hit. And then I've had it do the opposite too, and it's like, yeah, it's impossible to try to be 100% consistent at it.
Mm-hmm.
You might, if you got good enough reflexes, be able to hit it at least half the time though.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because of having two shots at it.
I think I was getting it towards the end, but by then I was down to 2, and, well, the last one is scripted, you're dead, so...
Yeah.
It didn't matter by that point.
I honestly think the hardest thing that I had with the entire game honestly had to be the final boss. And that's more because, especially by the time you get to the third phase, you really don't have enough health to try to learn the moves. And, I mean, bear in mind, I was going in with quite a bit of E-tanks by the time I was getting to the third phase. Otherwise, the second phase was just obliterating me.
Did you go in with the percentage you said you went in with?
The first time or the second time?
Whichever one you told me in chat.
I think the one I said in chat was like 40%. I tried
42.
with it. Yeah. I tried with it, and I could get to the second phase, but I could not get to the third. I was just getting wrecked before I could do it. I think now that I know what I'm looking at with the phases, I probably could do it at that low.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even lower. But yeah. Trying to learn all the phases, yeah, you're not meant to do it that low.
I actually came in under that.
But you had done Watch the Boss too.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like trying to blind learn the boss, no, you've got to be higher than that because you've got to have that extra health to attempt to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you already kind of know what you're up against, then yeah, I could see going in at that or lower kind of deal.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the things I learned was in the first phase, when he turns like that reddish yellow, you can't damage him, you have to counter him in order to get damage in.
That really didn't mess with me too bad because most of the time he was gold, I was noticing he wasn't giving me too much of an opening to hit him anyhow.
He was for me. And I was like, wait, you're not taking damage. Oh, I have to counter you on this. That's why you're doing all the counter moves.
I think that was what was happening there. He was doing so much of the counter moves that I wasn't able to really hit him. And I was not confident in my counters. He's got an insane amount of time in his counters.
Mm-hmm. Although I did screw up the one where you have to counter him twice. I was like, oh fuck, I have to counter you twice. Okay. Didn't know that one.
When I was learning it, yeah, I did that too. But yeah, honestly, that was the hardest out of it.
Yeah, I didn't have that rough of a time. Honestly, the worst.
I feel like, and this is kind of odd saying it, I feel like I have a harder time playing Super Metroid than I do with Dread.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing, because it's the first, like, new 2D Metroid in how long?
Yeah, but for something that I feel like they were wanting to try to grasp that 2D nostalgia, I would actually kind of put this more akin to like the Zero Mission remake of the first game and maybe Fusion as far as difficulty wise, because Fusion wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I actually did try to go back to do Super Metroid and no. No, I died again.
Yeah,
early on, and I'm like, yep, this is an acquired taste, and I don't acquire it. Got it.
Yeah. Sometimes I do think, though, the bosses are a little overtuned on their damage. Like, if they could have a little less damage on them.
It honestly didn't feel that bad to me.
Yeah.
And it might just be the case of getting back to, you know, I am used to. Prime did it. Pretty much every Metroid game has always done it. The bosses are just enormous tanks of energy. And it's like, yeah, you can't get through it that quick with them. I guess, though, too, that's a nice change of pace from, you know, your more typical 3 hits and you're done kind of deal. But at the same time, a harder boss fight like Ravenbeak kind of can get monotonous.
Yeah, I think, weirdly, somehow I ended up at 1 HP for one of his phases. At exactly 1 HP. I don't know how.
You got lucky.
I know. I'm like, how the fuck am I at 1 HP? How did the numbers work to get me to 1 HP for a bit of this? I died. But I did have to do, I think, the second phase for a little bit at 1 damage. Or at 1 health.
Lucky.
I think that was also the one where I fucked up the space jump circle around him while he's rapid firing at you.
Which I found out by watching the speedruns to try to get a game plan as to what the heck you're supposed to do with him. You can actually get him started run into the wave of beams and I think jump into his foot, and it causes him to stop that immediately.
Does he do the stomp attack after that?
I think it does transition to the stomp right after.
Okay, that makes sense, because he tends to do that if you're directly under him.
But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I am not trying this. I will get myself killed trying this. I will stick to the circle around him. But that's kind of interesting that he's got manipulation, especially this early in the game's life. Because that makes me wonder how much manipulation there actually is with that boss fight.
I feel it is, because I think he does some moves proximity-wise.
It seemed like it, because if I was up in the air whenever he finished the spam shot, it seemed like he would almost always wind up dashing against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was coincidence or if that's actually what it's set up to do. The other big thing that kept getting me with him was the fact of I kept wanting to only use rockets, only to find out that you don't have to only use rockets. The regular blaster shot is good enough.
Yeah. I think I did rockets only for the file because it was just the more consistent one. I didn't have to worry about charging up and then shooting at him.
You don't even have to charge up. Regular shots do it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I didn't either until I watched one of the runs at the bottom of the leaderboard, and I'm like, oh. You mean you don't have to do anything special? You just hit him and go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dread's good. I do like that Samus is in, and I said this in the chat, an incredibly I've killed bigger, try me mood with some of these bosses. Like I said that for the Phantom Cloak boss, because it's very clear that she is fucking done with him by the end of just like, nah, you're done. I already know how to kill you, and it doesn't even require me to shoot you.
Well, like with the Kraid fight. It's just, no. Just don't. We know how this ended the last time. Don't even try it.
Fucking Kraid, fucking Ravenbeak by the end, where she is just, you are fucking dead. I am going to fucking eradicate your existence if necessary, because I am pissed. And somehow get a super mode in the process.
Yeah. And is it bad that, you know, because of the way Dread ends, I'm really kind of hoping that they kind of pick up Prime 4 post that? Mm-hmm. And we might actually see maybe a watered down version of that Metroid suit?
Yeah. Okay, although
I would be fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Although there's something I have to ask about that suit. Okay. Does it feel like the choice of the green for that suit is deliberate?
Kind of.
Because doesn't it seem like a similar green to a certain other fucking murder everything protagonist from a recent video game?
I can see that, yeah.
For those wondering, from my head, when I think I said it on stream, but the combination of the green and the red just they're close enough to the Doomslayer's colors that I'm like, is this intentional? To be fair, it makes sense. They both are very done with the bullshit they get put through and are very much willing to murder everything between them and getting the fuck done with this.
But yeah, now that I'm done with Dread, I'm kind of hoping Prime 4 goes that direction. I know it probably won't, because if I'm not mistaken, I think I read something either earlier today or yesterday that was kind of explaining about the smart decision would be for them to go with Prime 4 going post Dread, to kind of give them building stones going forward. But the past Prime games have kind of squeezed themselves in various points in the history / possibly different timelines.
Yeah.
Because
and then they have to follow.
I think it said something about there was some continuity discrepancies with like Prime 1 and where it technically is supposed to fit in the timeline.
Yeah. Granted, I read someone's post, and I think John's Discord, that talks about how Other M is technically out of continuity because it disconnects from every other game in the Metroid franchise at this point. Of like, no, this doesn't count. It can't count.
Except for what's bad. Dread kind of still has ties back to it. Because of its ties to Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we can't forget it.
Look, what we can do is we can acknowledge that it is a part of the timeline. We just do not reference any specific parts of Other M.
I mean, we've got really two options, and I hope they pulled the trigger on one of these. We can either acknowledge the fact that Other M exists and just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can make sure that Prime 4 effectively redacts everything for Other M and just we go forward from there.
Yeah.
Because either one's a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more the latter than the first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dread's good. I'll try to 100% it at some point, Super Robot Wars 30 is next week. Probably playing Breakers 3 until then to buy time. And the Hyrule Warriors or Age of Calamity DLC comes out next week too. Or what's it? It's in here somewhere. Because I saw it.
Also, I know we're starting Prime Friday, but I'm still kind of hoping for at least a Prime remaster on the Switch.
Yeah. 29th. Which is the day after 30 comes out, so I will have plenty of things to break up playing 30 because I don't want to go in super hard on 30 because I will quickly burn myself out. Because I try not to do that with a new game. Which, did I tell you I finally got Fortnite working again?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't believe I had to install it to a separate fucking hard drive to get it to work. And this was after talking to one of Fortnite's support people, where he suggested that apparently rolling back Windows updates would make it work.
Also, so the typical, it's not our fault, it's someone else's.
Yeah, especially when this has happened with other people. I researched this. It's also not PC specific. It's happening on other platforms. Because I looked into
I've not touched Fortnite in so long, it's pathetic.
right.
So...
But I did. Yeah. I'm touching it for streams and stuff, for pre-shows at the moment, and occasionally playing it to, like, do Paddle Pass stuff, so... It is a game to play in between the stuff I really enjoy. And to kill, like, 2 hours or so.
That one.
Yeah. I do have it installed on my PlayStation 4 as a backup for stream, if I need it. Since that seems to work. Also, you don't need PlayStation Plus to play Fortnite online.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Apparently, any free-to-play game on, I guess, PlayStation, you don't need Plus to play it online. Because Call of Duty Warzones is the same way.
Yay, COD.
Yeah, I could have threw a COD thing in here, but I didn't feel like it.
I'm kind of glad you didn't.
Honestly, it wasn't anything. I think it was just them announcing that, hey, we got these voice actors to play these characters in the single-player campaign of the new COD game that I'm sure is on somebody's radar.
Because God knows it's not ours.
But shall we hit the news then?
I guess so.
All right then. Speaking of the Fortnif, recently, some folks from the Fortnif talked about how Among Us was the inspiration for their Imposters mode. And by inspiration, I mean we just put Among Us in our game and called it Imposters.
Also, good work, Game Informer. You see it, don't you?
Oh, what?
Apparently, Among Us is in Fortnite.
Drop the T there. Fortnite. But recently, since this little interview has come out, the Among Us Twitter contacted the Fortnite Twitter and said, have your people call our people. So we might have the Among Us crew as a skin in the Fortnite, I guess.
Huh.
So, are you excited to play as an Among Us crewman in the Fortnite?
No, because that would entail me playing Fortnite.
Fair. Moving on. We finally got a pricing for the Switch Online expansion pack.
And the internet has rioted.
Indeed. Several people I follow have went, nope, on this.
I'm fine with that. Especially out the gate.
Yeah.
Because looking at this, most people that are doing streams, when they're doing these games, already are running emulator. Mainly because it's too hard to try to get native hardware to work properly with capture cards right now.
Yeah, I think if you're not running emulators, you're running some sort of Retron with original cartridges. I believe. So, I think that's what John does for
I think so.
For some. Yeah, I think that's what John does for some of his stuff. Is he runs a Retron of some kind. I'm not sure which Retron, but he runs a Retron with original cartridges.
So essentially, still running an emulator just with original cartridges.
Yep.
And most emulators are fine with every game listed here.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, I'm like, I get it. Right now it's probably not worth $30. Why not let them try to throw something that may be hard for emulators to do right now in there, and then maybe that might start swaying people.
Yeah.
Or for those that are like, oh, well, I'm waiting until a better library, I could see that as well.
Yeah. Because for reference, folks, on the price tag, currently Nintendo Switch Online costs $20 a year. We are bumping that price to $50. That is a $30 increase. The family plan is going from $34.99 to $79.99 as well. Which I've heard a lot of people talk about how, yeah, just get a family membership, split it with some friends, call it a day.
Yeah. Because, I mean, in all seriousness, even if it's just one other person that you're splitting it with, doing it that way would be cheaper in the long run.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was the same with the original.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it for at least the first year. They're gonna have to prove it for me to keep going, though.
Yeah.
Because they've got a good start. I'll give them that. But if we go an entire year and only get like 3 more games added, then it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah. And then there are 2 additional pretty much emulator softwares, plus an expansion for a video game. But we'll talk about those in a bit. But yeah, all of those are included in this price tag, which, if you're wondering why the $30 increase, reading a post on Tumblr from someone, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that it is licensing costs, because one of these is wholly not owned by Nintendo in any capacity. I wonder how much it costs.
Yeah.
And let's see, 1, 2, at least 2 of the games in the current lineup for the N64 are not Nintendo games.
And every game on the Genesis lineup. It's one of those, I'm like, I get people saying, yeah, no. But at the same time, I'm like, I'll buy into it, because they'll need to see some kind of support. Otherwise, this is going to fizzle out to nothing.
Yeah. And I guess I'm fine with it, because I don't have a lot of this stuff anymore. I don't mind tracking down these cartridges plus an N64 and making sure it's a running N64 will cost me more than it will take to pay for Nintendo Switch Online for probably 2 years.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Well, at least the games. I have an N64. I'd have to make sure it runs. Probably
either one individually. Because I don't know how difficult it'd probably be to find some of these games.
Yeah, especially when Auction House is like, what if we made games expensive to make us money? I watch videos about it. It's really stupid, and I hate it.
And I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there like, oh, but a lot of these games are kind of popular. Yeah. You just said it.
But yeah, let's talk about what you're getting for this price tag. First, you're getting the brand new Animal Crossing's expansion for New Horizons called Happy Home Paradise. This is where the price was originally announced, actually, was in conjunction with the Animal Crossing Direct that announced this expansion. In this expansion, you'll be designing vacation homes for your residents. Exteriors, interiors, yards, fences, everything. You'll be able to polish items. You'll get some new furniture. You can build schools, restaurants, classrooms, any number of facilities like that. You'll be doing this on an archipelago of islands as well, but you can bring some of the stuff to your home island as and that seems to be the basics on it. But like I said, this is included in Switch Online. But you can purchase this on its own for $25. Which, if you have Switch Online for anything else, I don't know why you would pay it separately. Because you would also need Switch Online to do any of the online features for Animal Crossing. So, honestly, I don't know why this is bundled.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it even, unless this game's only going to be around for a year, wouldn't it actually be smarter to get the basic membership and then, you know, just buy the DLC if this is the only thing you're interested in out of it?
Yeah.
Because then you own the DLC forever, and you're not paying any more than you normally would. They didn't really think that through.
No. Also, guess who forgot to put in a list of those emulator stuff when he said we will talk about this later?
Let me guess. That guy?
Yes, me. Guess who's scrambling on Nintendo's website to grab the articles for this exact thing? And disrupting the entire flow of the show?
Yep. Guess who's having to pull the still image up because I know you're adding it to the document.
Mm-hmm.
And probably, yep. I was going to say, and probably also screwing up the layout for the releases. I got that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that one. Fuck. Also, one last thing on the expansion pack membership. They did say that for the first year, you're probably going to get some sort of custom price point, depending on what your current online membership is if you're upgrading. They have not talked about what that is specifically, but that is there.
Probably essentially a credit for the remainder of the year put towards buying the year of the expansion pass kind of concept.
Which my Switch Online actually renewed recently, so
you would get most of that back going towards it kind of deal.
Probably.
Whereas mine renews in January or February, one of the two.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get near as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this should launch
Monday.
November 5th. Oh, no, that's
Monday.
Oh, Happy Homecoming November 5th. This is Monday.
Yep, 25th.
Yeah.
Because that is even on the Switch Online screen on the Switch itself.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, that Animal Crossing's neat and cool. But, like I said, we're getting an N64 and a Sega Genesis emulation suite, much like the NES and SNES ones. And for the N64 one at launch, which will be 25th on all this, even though our releases say the 31st.
I mean, to be fair, originally it was told the end of the month.
Yeah. You'll have access to Mario Kart 64, Legends of the Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, Mario Tennis, Super Mario 64, Dr. Mario 64, Yoshi Story, Win the Back Covert Operations, and Send in Punishment.
I'm kind of curious if the SM64 one is the Shindo version like 3D All-Stars got, or if it's, the one everyone wants.
I can't wait for it to be the Shindo version again, just to piss people off.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Because that technically is the patched release.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we never saw it here.
Mm-hmm. But it has the same suite of features, save states, the like. There's also the ability to play online, and you can point out things on a screen if you're in a party with people, and they can help you. Also,
Because
voice chat on the Switch Mobile.
Because, you know, pointing out stuff to other people will not piss them off at all.
Mm-hmm. Don't think we have a list of what is upcoming, though.
We don't have a full list, but I know in the initial reveal it did show Banjo-Kazooie.
Let me check the video real quick.
Because that was one of them that they were showing coming later.
In the video, they show F-Zero X, Banjo-Kazooie, Majora's Mask, Paper Mario, Kirby and the Crystal Shards, Pokemon Snap. And that's it.
Ooh. Paper Mario would be a good one for them to get in there. Because it's always had emulation issues.
Yes. I would also love Pokemon Snap just to be like, hey, I would like to go back and play OG Pokemon Snap.
But that would be the one if they could get that flawless.
Mm-hmm.
That actually could be the one that might start swaying people.
Yeah. And on the Genesis end, at launch, you'll be getting Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Golden Axe, Strider, Contra Hardcores, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, the best game on this list. Don't fucking at me at that.
No, people
And
will at
Gunstar.
you because Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is on there.
Too bad. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And Gunstar Heroes. I don't think the Sega Genesis had showed anything for them, unfortunately.
There is more included games than just those 9. That's what I was thinking. We were missing at least one in there. Look at the list below, because there's 14 games total.
Oh, we're also missing Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Rystar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, or just in Shinobi 3.
I'm glad I happened to think about that.
Yeah, because in the video they show Musha, Phantasy Star 4, and Rystar.
Yeah.
On the menu.
Which, now those might be the ones that get added in kind of deal?
They are in the menu. They're already in the menu. So
that
I
they
believe
used for the video.
Yes.
They could also, that could also actually just be for promotional, and they're not doing it yet.
True.
They might actually only have these 9 up at the top here, and then add those in as we're going.
Right. Which would be weird because the N64 one doesn't have a discrepancy like that.
It doesn't, but at the same time, I mean, we did kind of see games being ran that are not there right now. So I could see this being similar.
Yeah.
Maybe with the Sega stuff, they are pretty much guaranteed they're getting in there. It's just a case of doing last minute polish.
Yeah.
And, you know, possibly pocketing some stuff so that they can have trickle releases in between the N64 stuff.
Yeah.
Because I so see that coming.
Yeah, they're good lineups. I think a lot of the Genesis stuff is available in Genesis collections that are out there. So if you have those collections, that's another reason for you to not have this, to be honest. And I don't blame you.
Honestly, with the Sega stuff, between the collections and honestly all the little plug and play stuff that they were doing for a while there.
Yeah.
I think between all of that, there's other means of getting your hands on all of these.
Yeah. Sega has been far more approachable in terms of making their back catalog accessible. Nintendo, on the other hand, fuck no. They do not like making their back catalog easily available.
Like, I'm not 100%, but I think you're probably right, and most of these are like in the Steam collection one.
That's honestly the one I was thinking of, is just the outright Sega Genesis collections that exist. Because these all seem like usual suspects for any of those collections. Just any of them. Hell, I think that Castlevania one literally just came out in a Castlevania collection.
I think you're right, actually.
Of 2D Castlevania games.
And I mean, I'm not even going to talk about Sonic 2 because I think Sonic 2's been on everything at this point.
Pick a collection. It probably has Sonic 2 of some variety. Honestly, I think maybe Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine may be like the least accessible thing here.
Nope. That one I know for a fact the Steam one has.
Okay. I guess in general, because I don't think it pops up on collections that much. Because it's fucking Mean Bean Machine.
I mean, yeah. It's Puyo Puyo. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll pick this up. I'll definitely play some of the N64 stuff because, like, I had an NES and an SNES growing up, but most of my memories at this point are N64 forward.
Same.
So those are my consoles. That is my nostalgia. You give me easy access to like that entire catalog of both of those. You have my money. So, shall we talk about the good Pokemon game that's coming out in January?
I guess.
So, in a little found footage-esque advertisement, or trailer, I guess, we had 2 new Hisui forms revealed. It's Zora and Zoroark, and they are fucking adorable. I love this Zora. I love my mischievous, apparently normal ghost child. Because Cerebi is saying that these are normal ghost. And I'm willing to say, if Cerebi says that they are normal ghosts, I'm willing to believe Cerebi, because they get their shit right.
More often than not, yeah.
Yeah. But it looks adorable. I love it. I want it on my team. Like, I almost want it on my team and to never evolve it into Zoroark, because I've always preferred Zora over Zoroark. I don't know. I think I just prefer this little trickster thing as this small tiny thing that will whip your monkey ass and dance on your corpse. But yeah, nothing much else. I think previews for the Diamond and Pearl remakes are starting to make the rounds from a lot of outlets. And apparently there's no word on new content for these Diamond and Pearl remakes. So it seems like, weirdly enough, they are verbatim remakes. They're not mucking with them too much. Which is very strange.
Yeah.
Unless they are just letting that ride till launch and let people discover it. Which is very not Pokemon.
I know they're gonna day one patch it in.
That too, because they probably want to avoid the data miners. because they do like to data mine Pokemon games as soon as they can.
Oh yeah.
But next up, do you remember that Uncharted movie that's coming out?
Yes.
With the Spider-Man, the current Spider-Man as Nathan Drake?
I've seen the trailer. Is it weird that I'm kind of interested in this though?
Okay, I have a different take on this movie, and I'm not sure I quite understand it. This feels like they're doing like a best of collection of the Uncharted games.
That's
because
why I kind of feel like it.
There's a little bit of every Uncharted game in this trailer.
That's why I kind of feel that way, because it's like, that kind of is the one thing that we have never seen anyone attempt to do.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they will try to take game straight to movie. Instead of just taking game to movie, it feels like it is kind of taking the series to the movie kind of deal.
Yeah, because for reference, folks, in this trailer, because I don't think we're going to play the trailer because DMC bullshit.
Yeah, Sony will say
DMCA. No. But they have a young Drake and Sully in this case, because this is supposed to be a younger Drake and a younger Sully, because Sully is being played by Mark Wahlberg. I do agree that Nathan Fillion would have been able to play Drake fairly well. There's actually a fan film of him playing as Drake, and it's really good. But you have the two of them, which is reminiscent of part of Uncharted 4. Nathan's brother is also mentioned in the trailer, which is Uncharted 4.
Repeatedly.
Yes. But you have them going after Sir Francis, or following Sir Francis Drake's trail, which is the plot of Uncharted 1. But instead of shit, I forgot her name. Not the one appearing in this movie. Because Elena's appearing in this movie, and that's 2. Or not Elena, Chloe. I got them backwards. Chloe's appearing in this, which is Uncharted 2, not Elena, who is Nathan's romantic interest for the entire series, and the one he gets married to and has a kid with. There is no sign of no sign of Elena. There's only Chloe. And then we have the iconic action set piece of 3 of the cargo, or the cargo ship. Or no, the cargo ship, the cargo plane. It's a little bit of every Uncharted game. I don't know how to feel about that.
Knowing how they cut trailers kind of deal, I feel like it'll work.
Yeah.
I feel like we're intentionally supposed to see the parallels to the different games, and that's the concept there.
Yeah.
Is to try to let everyone be like, hey, look, we're not just saying, okay, we're taking the first game and making it a movie.
Which is fine, because the first one is kind of the worst one in terms of game.
I mean,
that was...
I can understand that.
Honestly, if you're going to take any of them verbatim, take 2 verbatim. Because 2 would work verbatim at minimum. Because a little bit of rewriting, and you could use that as a first game. Or as a first thing for this. 3 doesn't function at all as a starting point. It has to be a sequel of some variety. 4 kind of doesn't either. It's got to be a sequel of some kind. But yeah. We'll see.
I feel like that's got me interested. It doesn't have me hopeful, because most of the time game and movie does not translate well either direction.
No.
So I'm not hopeful for it, but at the same time, I'm not just willing to overlook it and be like, it's just gonna be a thing, because it actually seemed like it might work in this weird way. I think it might actually work.
Yeah. But this comes out February of next year, so we don't have very long to wait.
Except for if you're not going to theaters, you'll have a while to wait.
I'm not gonna say anymore, but I'll be honest, I actually haven't seen like a lot of recent movies. I haven't even watched the recent Marvel movies, even through means. Even though I think Black Widow is just on Disney Plus now.
On Disney Plus now.
Yeah, not just outside of the whole premium buy thing.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched Black Widow.
I haven't yet either. I have watched all of the Marvel shows though.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat down and watched What If every week, but I have not bothered to sit down and watch Black Widow.
Same.
And I haven't even bothered to try to watch Shang-Chi. My dad has a lot and still can't find a good copy.
I'm not gonna worry about it till it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think I'm at that point too, where I'm just like, if it's not easily accessible on a streaming service, I'm just not gonna bother for a while.
Yeah.
Because like I technically have Amazon Prime now, since I keep having to do the orders and stuff for my parents, because they ask me, hey, can you order this? And their card is on my Amazon account. So I order stuff for them. Because do not ask me why they can't order on their own. I don't know. I have never bothered. I think it's just they believe it's easier if they just tell me what they want. I put it in a cart and I just pay for it with their card and just be done.
I mean, sounds easier to me.
Yeah. Plus, my parents are on the older side, so they're getting to the age of, look, just do this. I don't want to deal with the headache of it, and I'm like, fair. That is honestly is where I don't want to deal with something that makes me jump through 20 hoops. Hi, NFT garbage from HasCon for the Power Rangers Megazord thing. Should I tell you about this?
I don't think you told me about it.
I know you haven't, because this happened yesterday, but let me pull this up, because I gotta read this thing. So at HasbroCon yesterday, they did a Power Rangers panel revealing a bunch of Power Rangers stuff, and they also revealed their take on Megazords. There it is. There's this stupid thing. What the hell? There we go. But they revealed their take on Megazords, and I'll throw you the link for this so you can see this. And they're doing the original Megazord, but it doesn't come out till next year. But right now, you can pre-order a black and gold version of it. But you know what you get now while you wait for your black and gold Megazord?
What?
An NFT. You know, that wonderful thing that totally isn't a scam and ruining the environment at the same time. The double whammy of bullshit. Yeah, for $200 as a pre-order. You pre-order your Black and Gold Megazord, but it gets better. So you can only purchase this between Friday and Sunday, and only if you're in the US. Then you will be sent a code for the Wax platform of NFT bullshit that you didn't have to redeem between the 25th and the 31st. And you have to have your own Wax account for this. So you have to go and make a Wax account to then redeem this NFT. Then you will receive a digital token. And this token can be redeemed for the Megazord between the 1st and the 8th of November. Did you get all that?
Yeah, no.
What? How much admin did you have to attach to this? This is nonsense. Even, like, putting the NFT aside for a second, because it's honestly hot fucking garbage that they attach an NFT to this fucking bullshit. And the only thing they attached an NFT to at the entire fucking convention, the only one they had the fucking gall to attach an NFT to was fucking Power Rangers of all fucking things. And I was very upset about this, even though I have exactly 0 horses in the Power Rangers race at the moment. 0. None. I was still incredibly upset about this, because this is fucking stupid of the highest of calibers. But yeah, the fact that you have to get a fucking token to redeem for an NFT, and you then have to take that token, have that thing to get a token to then redeem to get this fucking stupid Megazord. And if you don't do it within these dates, you don't get it at all. After you spent $200 fucking dollars for this thing, it's a fucking nightmare and a garbage thing, and I hope this fucking fails. Anyway, speaking of terrible decisions.
I mean, is this a terrible decision?
Involving Bungie and Destiny? I don't know. I feel like Destiny is at this point where leaving Activision meant leaving a lot of money to back this game, and now Bungie is scrambling to go, how do we run this game now when we have like half our budget, if that, to make this game work? Because, by the way, you know that whole Forsaken campaign that everyone likes and stuff, and it kind of turned people's opinions around on Bungie, or on Destiny? Yeah, kiss that goodbye on February 22nd of next year, because it's going to be gone. And apparently, these dungeons that they've been putting in for people to do that have been these really good, like, I think like 3-player, like, gameplay things, you now have to purchase them separately instead of them just being in updates. Why do we keep running into live service games that do not know how to run them as an MMO? Because it's what they need to run as.
I mean, I feel like with Destiny, it's boiling down to they know their player base is finite now. They know they have no money backing them, so they have to figure out how to make said player base pay them money.
Yeah. I guess every time I hear something bad about Destiny, I'm just reminded, all right, I didn't really care for anything besides the basic gameplay of Destiny. The basic gameplay of Destiny works. Everything surrounding that game just weighs it down so fucking much, in my opinion.
I mean, I mean, you're right. The basic gameplay of modified Halo is good.
Shooty bang bang with big fancy powers and supers and stuff. You can't fuck that up.
Like I said, modified Halo.
Yeah. It just. But yeah, that is.
I feel like it's bad. I also see their side of it, and I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I understand it, but it's not helping. And it's especially not helping me as someone who was in Destiny but is not into Destiny anymore. Because I see cool things are coming, but I also keep seeing the handicaps that are attached to them.
I feel like the real issue is the fact that well, not so much now, but it was a paid-for game that also had the microtransactions in it.
Yeah.
Like I said, not so much now. I mean, it still is. But, yeah. I hate saying it, but in all seriousness, what they really needed was some kind of battle pass system.
They have a battle pass system.
They needed it from the start, though, kind of deal.
Yeah.
That probably could have saved it. I think at this point they're just grasping at straws and hoping something will hand them enough money to make a third one so that they can actually get out of this hole.
Yeah, because trying to keep Destiny 2 going as is, I just don't think is going to work, because the fact that they keep having to cycle content out while they cycle new content in isn't going to make the game very approachable, I feel like.
Especially when the content kind of needs itself to build upon.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it would kind of be like if we had something happen with SWTOR and they were like, okay, well, every week we're going to have a different planet accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
You know how handicapped that would be for so many people then?
Yeah.
Because if you're not at the point of that level, then of that world, then you're just screwed.
Mm-hmm. I feel weird.
It's one of those that I hate that it's being that way, but I honestly feel like Bungie's kind of on that downward, hoping that they won't die, but probably are there.
Yeah. Live service games are not an easy thing to make and not an easy thing to keep going.
No.
But anything else?
No.
All right, releases. Like usual, we're just gonna hit some of the highlights for releases. I'm not gonna go through the whole list because holy fuck, the 28th and the 31st.
And technically supposed to be the 25th. If each of those are listed separate on the 31st.
Yeah, no. I am not destroying my voice on releases anymore. So, the 25th, we've got Zombie Buster Rising on Switch. The 26th, Gas Guzzlers Extreme for Switch. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Minecraft Dungeons Ultimate Edition for PlayStation 4, Switch. NASCAR 21 Ignition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Neptunia X Senran Kagura Ninja Wars for PlayStation 4 is... Hang on. Is this crossing over with that one series of games where they have anime girls represent the different major companies? Yes, it is. Okay. I was just curious. Oh, God. You know, if we ever get affiliate, one of those Neptunia games is probably going to end up being my goal. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna do a stream of one of these Neptunia games. Because, fuck it. They're incredibly stupid and dumb, but you know what? Stupid and dumb is the brand around here.
True.
But we've also got the Jedi Knight Collection for PlayStation 4, Racer and Commando Collection for PlayStation 4, and Stubbs the Zombie, a Rebel, or Stubbs and Zombies and Rebel Without a Pulse for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch. Why is this game getting a remaster? I remember when this game came out and no one cared. Originally, back in the day, on the Xbox.
Well, now you get to see when this game comes out and nobody cares again.
Fair. On the 27th, Dodish 1 and 2 for Xbox One. There's not much on the 27th that's worth highlighting.
Yeah, not at all.
On the 28th, not related to the Marvel character, Black Widow Recharged for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Bobble Hentai for Switch. I guess that's porn. That's probably porn. Dusk for Switch, Doctor Who: The Age of Reality for Switch, Fatal Frame: Made into the Black Water for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. I saw a what happened from Matt and Muscles on one of the Fatal Frames. I think it was the Wii Fatal Frame. That talked about the development troubles with that one. Let's see. Plan B from Outer Space, a Bavarian Odyssey for Android and iOS. Riders Republic for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Stadia. I saw Maximilian do the beta of this. It looks fine. It's that Ubisoft Extreme Sports Racer game.
Oh.
It looked fine. Also, I missed one! Yay! And then we head to the 29th. Oh, wait, no! Oh, Voice of Cards, The Island Dragon Roars for PlayStation 4 and Switch. I remember seeing this at a Direct. It looked cool. So if I recall correctly, yeah, this is that like entirely card-based adventure game that Yoko Taro's doing the art for. You probably don't remember this.
Oh, wait, yeah, I think I do, actually.
Yeah, it looked really cool. But I'm not seeing anything else. So on the 29th, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Guardian of Remembrance for Switch, Mario Party Superstars for Switch, and that looks to be it in terms of highlights. So on the 31st, not the Genesis and N64 stuff. There's some Amico stuff apparently getting re-released. Biplanes, Brain Duel, Dynablasters.
Shoutouts to Banjo-Kazooie being on that list, even though it will not be in there.
Yeah. I'm sad about that. Snap's in there too. I think they just listed everything that was in the trailer.
Even though they clearly said that those were coming later.
I say that and there's no Paper Mario. So apparently not.
You're right.
That looks...
That's weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Starting in November, Ectis for Switch and Legend of Tian Ding for Switch. On the 2nd, Fort Nif Minty Legends Pack for Series X, 4, 5, and Switch. World War Z for Switch. Oops. On the 3rd, Bloody Shore for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and iOS. On the 4th, Just Dance 2022 for Series X, Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and Stadia.
And probably the Wii.
Probably at this point.
For the record, the way it's set up, it does not grab any Wii releases, so yeah.
No, it will be Wii U. There will be a Wii U release.
Probably Wii and Wii U.
Actually, let me look. No, that's it.
Really?
Yes.
So Ubisoft is finally deciding to walk away from the Wii?
Apparently. Also on the 4th, Binding of Isaac Repentance for Xbox One and Series X. And on the 5th, the New Horizons expansion for this coming out for the Switch. Call of Duty Vanguard for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. Fast and Furious Spy Racers Rise of Shiftar for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation Code Fairy for PlayStation 4 and 5. And one I missed, which is Still Stand for PlayStation 4 and Switch. But if you want to see the full list of releases, it's on our app and stuff.
Also, and you could watch the stream because I kind of have it up.
Yeah. But yeah, those are highlights of releases for the next couple weeks. Quick draws! We're getting a Winter Tyson film, surprisingly, after not having one last year.
Yeah.
Because of pandemic. Kamen Rider Beyond Generations will be coming out December 17th, little under 2 months. It will be featuring a crossover of Saber and Revice, I guess, along with the appearance of Ichigo in a reuse of 001, I assume, for this 2071 rider. That looks like 001, right?
Kind of, yeah.
With maybe Vulcan's helmet.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
No. Also, by the way, how does everyone like their crossover, maybe with a touch of Geo? Because, fun fact, this rider will exist in a parallel dimension that will never exist post this movie.
Probably. Because I think that's also close to when, like, the future of Geo is. Because isn't that 2075?
Oh my god, I think you're right.
I was about to say it's close. I remember someone saying it's close, and I'm like, oh god damn. Like, it's supposed to be 2071 because it's supposed to be 100 years after, like, the franchise started, and it's also supposed to be 50 years in the future, kind of like how Aqua is from 40 years in the future in Mega Max. This rider will be from 50 years in the future. But no other details at the moment. I would assume we will get a Television magazine talking about this next month-ish, probably, I would assume, giving us details on our future writer here and whatever else this movie is supposed to be about. I can't wait for it to be time travel shenanigans. I love time travel shenanigans.
I mean, if we can do Deno time travel shenanigans, then fine.
Yeah.
If it's Ghost/Geo time travel shenanigans, then no. I've got you puzzled on the ghost part, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
The simple fact of he was a writer before he died.
Yeah.
But has memory of that? It's like, yeah, no. There was time shenanigans there at least.
I just feel sad that this 2071 writer, because he looks vaguely like 001 in Vulcan, and he looks like someone from 01. This might be our 01 representation in this movie, so that we have all three of our Rara era shows represented in this crossover film.
Yeah.
Because I assume that's going to be the case of, all right, Ichigo's going to be in here because of reasons. And I saw people complain that we're not getting the Ichigo suit from Superhero Senki. That's a remade version of the original suit. We're going back to his proper design, which, I mean, what did you expect? That suit was just his original form, redesigned, a new version of his original form. We're not going to keep that. That's not Ichigo at this point. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully it's a good movie, even though the Saber cast will be here to some capacity, and oh boy, I don't miss them.
Alright. All I'm gonna say, we're dealing with current, past, and future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward for this movie to actually fit in continuity anywhere. And I'm willing to walk into it thinking that it will not have any bearing on any of the shows pertaining.
Probably. even though we have an Ichigo vice stamp that is in the show. It is in the show at this point. Because Demons has it at the moment. And he will use it.
It's one of those, yeah. It's got me interested, but outside of that, I'm like, yep, I'm looking for this to be another Scrub kind of concept.
Yeah. But anywho, you do not have a quick draw, correct?
Correct.
All right, then. Tomorrow, we've got more Deno to watch. I have seen it. I miss Hana already.
Fair.
Like, Kohana is fine, but it feels like the show's kind of missing something. Granted, we're moving into plot territory, so. Thursday, we start RE1. Friday, we start Metroid Prime. And next Saturday will be a thing of stuff.
Yep.
So between now and then, if you like what you've seen, drop a follow. Real appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate go at TG Saloon on Twitter. Gets you updates going live. Next mission, just there in chat. See us. Drop by. Say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.